Who will win the war between Russia and Ukraine? A complex question to answer, as this conflict is constantly evolving with numerous variables at play. On one hand, we have Russia, a nation with a larger military force but also grappling with the consequences of international sanctions. On the other, there's Ukraine, a country displaying tenacious resistance, bolstered by Western support. This war is not just a battle between two nations, but a complex puzzle where military might, economic pressures, political leadership, and international implications all interconnect and influence the outcome. Each day brings new developments, shifting the balance of power in unpredictable ways. The war is turning into a war of attrition, with losses on both sides. It's had a devastating impact on the Ukrainian civilian population and the global economy. The commitment of the international community is essential to achieve a just and lasting peace. Predicting a clear victor is not straightforward, but let's dive into the factors that could determine the outcome. On the battlefield, Russia's larger army faces Ukraine's tenacious resistance and Western support. Diving into the military factors, we see a fascinating dynamic at play. Russia, with its vast military arsenal, is undoubtedly a formidable force. However, it's not just about the size of the army, but also its effectiveness, sustainability, and the strategic finesse with which it's deployed. Interestingly, Russia's air force has experienced significant losses since the start of the war, with 90 planes downed and a decrease in effectiveness due to overworking its jets. This, coupled with the accelerated depletion of Russia's warplane fleet, reveals a potential strain on their military resources. On the other hand, Ukraine, despite having a smaller army, showcases a remarkable level of tenacity and resilience. Their effective air defenses, bolstered by aircraft acquisitions from NATO countries, have proven to be a thorn in Russia's side. The Ukrainian forces have managed to hold their ground, causing a war of attrition to unfold. This means that the conflict is being drawn out, leading to substantial losses on both sides. Adding to this, the role of Western support cannot be understated. NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg and British Prime Minister Boris Johnson have expressed a need for continued support to deter Russian aggression. This assistance comes in the form of military aid, including weapons and strategic advice. However, challenges persist regarding supply lines and weapon shortages. The war has become more than a mere clash of armies. It's a test of endurance, strategic planning, and the ability to adapt to rapidly changing circumstances. Ukraine's ability to withstand Russian forces, coupled with continued Western support, has kept the conflict from being a quick and decisive victory for Russia. In this war of attrition, every day that Ukraine holds its ground is a victory in itself. It's a testament to their determination and the effectiveness of the support they're receiving. Russia may have the larger army, but this war has shown that numbers alone don't decide the outcome. While Russia has the numerical advantage, the determination of Ukraine and its allies could level the playing field. The war's economic impact is profound, with sanctions hitting Russia and international aid supporting Ukraine. Russia, a country rich in natural resources, is finding its economy squeezed as the world community imposes sanctions. These economic penalties are causing significant disruption, restricting Russia's access to international finance, technology, and markets. As the sanctions tighten, they're draining Russia's reserves and causing a sharp contraction in its economy. On the other side, Ukraine is receiving substantial support from the international community. This aid is playing a crucial role in bolstering Ukraine's economy, helping it to meet its immediate needs and maintain essential services. However, this situation isn't without complications. Europe's reliance on Russian gas is a complex issue. While it provides a vital source of revenue for Russia, it also ties Europe to Russia economically. This dependency makes the imposition of sanctions a double-edged sword, as it could potentially lead to energy shortages in Europe. Economically, it's a struggle for both nations, but the sanctions and aid are shifting the balance. In the political arena, Putin's leadership is under question, while Zelensky symbolizes Ukrainian unity and resistance. It's crucial to understand how political dynamics are shaping the war's trajectory. Let's start with Russia. Vladimir Putin, once seen as a figure of strength and control, is now being questioned. His decision to wage war on Ukraine has not only led to international backlash, but also to domestic scrutiny. Some analysts suggest that Putin's change in approach could be attributed to factors such as isolation, paranoia, a nationalist ideology, or even a desire to restore Russia's power. On one hand, Putin's isolation on the international stage, coupled with growing paranoia, might have driven him to take drastic measures. On the other hand, his nationalist ideology could have fueled his determination to bring Ukraine back under Russia's control. Furthermore, Putin's desire to restore Russia's power on the global stage could have played a significant role in the decision to go to war. However, this war has not gone as Putin might have envisioned. The resilience of the Ukrainian people and their unified resistance under the leadership of Volodymyr Zelensky has been a significant force. Zelensky, a former comedian turned president, has become a symbol of Ukrainian unity and defiance. His impassioned speeches and unwavering determination have galvanized his nation and attracted international support. The underestimation of Ukrainian determination and Western cohesion has been a critical miscalculation on Putin's part. This war has not only strained Russia's military and economy, but has also put Putin's leadership under the microscope, both domestically and internationally. In conclusion, the political dynamics in both Russia and Ukraine are as much a part of this conflict as the military and economic factors. The changes in leadership and political strategy could significantly influence the war's trajectory. Political dynamics and leadership changes could significantly influence the war's trajectory. This war has far-reaching implications, altering global geopolitics and increasing nuclear war risks. It's not just about Ukraine and Russia anymore, it's a global chessboard where every move matters. Let's unpack this a bit. When we look at the international implications, we see a ripple effect. The conflict has already caused significant shifts in international relations, with countries having to pick sides and make difficult decisions. It's like a domino effect, where one action triggers a series of reactions. For example, the war has pushed NATO to reconsider its strategy, recognizing Russia as a security threat. This is a significant shift with potentially long-lasting effects. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, the risk of nuclear warfare. While it's a remote possibility, the mere fact that it's on the table is a chilling thought. The world hasn't faced a nuclear threat this palpable since the Cold War. Moving on, let's discuss the role of Europe and America. They play a crucial part in this geopolitical puzzle. Their support for Ukraine is pivotal in countering Russian aggression. They've already stepped up with military aid and economic support. But it's not just about throwing resources at the problem. It's about strategic endurance, rapid response, and a unified front. Europe in particular needs to rethink its security and defense strategies. The war has exposed vulnerabilities, especially with its dependence on Russian gas. This conflict could be a wake-up call for Europe to take greater responsibility for its own security. As for America, it continues to play a key role in this international crisis. Its actions could tip the scales in favor of Ukraine, provided it remains steadfast and committed. In conclusion, the international community's response could be a game-changer in this conflict. It's not just about who has the bigger army or the better strategy. It's about international solidarity, strategic alliances, and the collective pursuit of peace. Predicting an end to this war is challenging, but let's explore the possible scenarios. In the grand chessboard of this conflict, there are three potential endgames that might play out. Firstly, a Russian military victory. Given the current circumstances, this seems unlikely. Despite having a larger army, Russia has been experiencing significant losses. Its air force is overworked and less effective, and the resilience of the Ukrainian resistance, bolstered by Western support, cannot be underestimated. Secondly, we have a Ukrainian military victory. This outcome is possible, especially with increased Western commitment. The Ukrainian army has shown tenacity and determination, and the support from NATO countries has been a significant boost. However, this scenario would likely require a further escalation of commitments from Western powers, which brings its own set of geopolitical complexities. The third and perhaps most likely scenario is peace negotiations. The war is taking a heavy toll on both sides, and the international community is increasingly calling for a peaceful resolution. The negotiations would be complex, involving not just Russia and Ukraine, but also the many international stakeholders involved in this conflict. Regardless of which scenario unfolds, the urgent need to end the war is clear. The human cost of this conflict is devastating, with the Ukrainian civilian population bearing the brunt of the suffering. The global economy too has been significantly impacted. While it's impossible to predict with certainty, the commitment of the international community is vital for achieving a just and lasting peace. This war has shown that in today's interconnected world, A conflict in one region reverberates globally. As such, the path to peace in Ukraine is not just about resolving a regional conflict, but about ensuring global stability and security.